You are so small. That's what society tells you. From the very beginning, you've been told what to do. Your parents had rules, chores, expectations, things that you had to do. Then in society says you have to go to school. Government says you have to go to school, follow the law, do what the authority says. Companies say you should be eating this. You should be dressing like this. You should be listening to this. You should be watching this. This whole world is trying to tell you what to do. And slowly, slowly, you've said yes. Little yes over little yes. Bigger and bigger. Until finally, you've created your modern self, who's gone to this school, who has these interests, who wears this style, who talks like this, who watches that, who listens to these artists. It's so predictable. You have become a robot. Robots are predictable. There's one critical element in your development that has not been encouraged. And that is to think for yourself. You've never been encouraged to think for yourself. You've never been given space to think for yourself. Because to think for yourself is too dangerous. It's too scary. Your parents might be scared that if you think for yourself, you'll do some crazy things, not get the proper education, not be qualified for the proper job. In terms of modern day lifestyle, this may be true. Maybe you won't have the skills that will pay so that you can live the modern lifestyle. But is that the most important thing? Is safety the most important thing? And then you go to school and you spend thousands of hours and thousands of dollars learning what other people say you should learn. We don't care what you think and what you want to learn. That's what they say. They say learn our material. Read our books. Because that is what intelligence is. You're stupid. If you don't have a degree, you're stupid. If you don't know this or that, if you don't know the core curriculum, then you're an idiot and nobody wants you. And in some way that's true. You're not predictable. When someone's looking at your resume, they're going to say, oh, he didn't go to college, or he majored in that, or he created his own course of study. Well, I don't know what's going on in his head. I can't put my finger on it. Let's pass on him because I'm not sure if he's going to get the job done. Society wants predictability. Society wants to sculpt its members into something that is predictable, that companies can sell to, that governments can garner money from. To be your own person is very dangerous to society. It's even been skewed when looking at Jesus Christ himself. I've noticed this when talking to some Christians. They have this attitude of extreme humbleness. I will never be like Jesus Christ. He's over there, and I'm just this little human over here. He is God, and I'm just this worthless biological thing that isn't saved. And so, from this lens of oppression that they've acquired from society, that they're stupid, they've even turned Jesus' teachings into a way to make themselves lower. It's an assumption that authority figures know much more than they do, and they can never be like them. And so they say things like, Jesus Christ said that we should mimic him, copy his behavior. But this is a total misunderstanding of his teachings. Jesus Christ wanted you to be yourself. He was a rebel. He wanted you to be you completely, away from what society says you should do. There was a passage where he was talking to some disciples, and he was mentioning the miracles that he could do, and he said, even with more faith, you'd be able to do greater miracles than I can. These are words of empowerment. But society has conditioned its members so deeply that even when they go to learn about empowerment, they skew the teachings to become victims and the oppressed. Society is meant to control. That's why when you watch commercials, TV shows, look at these celebrities, they're trying to coerce you into behaving and acting and buying certain things because they're persuading you to believe that you now are not enough. That you're stupid and you're ugly and you don't say the right things. And you should go to these stores and buy their products so that you can look prettier and more handsome. Because right now, as you are naturally, you're not enough. But is that really true? Do you need someone else to define who you are? Are you just a dead cavity? I think everybody knows that this isn't true. Because everybody knows that the more they listen to other people, the more that they follow, the more that they become miserable. This society is full of miserable people. Miserable people who relate to people and relate to the world through us, them. They go on their phones and they watch the celebrities and the musicians and the actors talk as if they are born and blessed more than anybody else. They're just the people watching. They're the people that are making. And so somewhere inside everyone, they know that there is something more to them. There's something that wants to expand. Nature is always expanding. If it's not expanding, it's dying. But there's no stagnation. There's nothing that stays the same. And so there's something in all of us that wants to expand. That's why we keep searching and looking and wanting and yearning, because we want to expand. And so ask yourself, as you go through the day and look at other people and watch all the videos and consume everything that the companies and society and government and politics wants you to consume, and they say, what are they saying about me that's not good enough? Am I not smart enough to make my own decisions? Do I have to listen to people on the news, to society, to government, to parents, to friends, in order to make my decisions? Can't I make my own decisions? Making your own decisions is not what anybody wants you to do. Because when you make your own decisions, you can't be controlled. And people will try to persuade you not to make your own decisions, not to express how you're actually feeling or thinking, not to eat what you actually want, not to say what you actually want, not to wear what you want, not to do what you want. Because when you do that, you're unpredictable and you're non-productive. You cannot be productive in society if you're not following everybody else. You go against the grain. And other people, when you begin becoming yourself, other people will try to bring you down. They are so unaccustomed, they are so programmed to destroy anything that is not part of the system. They can't tell you why, but it's a program that they've consumed. And they're living in such unconscious manner that they can't even help it. And so do you think that you're so small? That you're so stupid? That you need to do what everybody around you all the time is telling you what to do? Can you make space for yourself to ask yourself what you really want to do in life? what you really think about, how you really feel in any situation, and can you respect that as your unique self? Everybody is different. That's why when you go into the forest, you'll never see two trees absolutely alike. It would be impossible. The sun comes down in a certain way. If two trees were absolutely alike, then they would be dying. They wouldn't be able to capture the light properly. They would be distorted. A malfunction, a destruction in their DNA would only cause that. But that is what society is having you do. Become just like everybody else. And so really, it's a life or death choice. Do you choose to be yourself and to gather as much light as this universe is offering you every moment? Or are you going to become just like everybody else, like a monocrop, like a long line of corn? Are you just going to be one corn stalk in a field of millions of corn to be harvested by a machine and turned into high fructose corn syrup to be consumed in a Coca-Cola beverage? That's really what it is. Till next time.